I'm Grandpa Gerber, and I'm glad you're here. In my last video, Making a Difference Part 2, we started to talk about insulin resistance. I would like to go right back to that spot and take off again, describing that process, what a normal system looks like, and the things that I did to change the direction of my own system, which started on February 15th of this year. A large part of my success began with education and research. I wanted to know how my body works and how it reacted to the decisions I made regarding food. When it comes to your health, knowledge is power. I basically didn't know what I didn't know, and some of you may be in the same boat. So it was back to the books for me. I found some interesting facts. According to the CDC, more than 133 million Americans are living with diabetes or prediabetes, which is more than 1 in 3 adults. The shocking part of that is that 80% of those people have no idea they have prediabetes. They are completely unaware of their condition. And having diabetes increases your chances of developing type 2 diabetes, along with the numerous other chronic illnesses that I dealt with that we discussed previously. So, how does all of this happen? Some of you may not be familiar with the process of what's going on inside your body. So let's start from the beginning. Insulin is a hormone produced by your pancreas. It's like a key that unlocks the cells to allow blood sugar inside for energy. In prediabetes, your body's cells do not respond well to insulin. So to compensate, your pancreas has to produce more. However, over time, the pancreas struggles to keep up, causing the blood sugar levels to increase, leading to prediabetes and potentially type 2 diabetes later. It sounds like a very rocky relationship. And ironically, the relationship between insulin and glucose is critical for regulating the blood sugar levels in your body. So, how does this work? So let's start with a normal system, someone that's healthy, that has no problem with their insulin. What does that look like? Okay, let's say you're going to have a bagel. You eat the bagel. Every time you eat, your digestive system breaks down the food into glucose, which serves as a primary source of energy for all the cells in your body. Insulin comes along because it's a hormone produced by the pancreas and acts as a key that unlocks those cells, as we learned earlier, allowing them to take that glucose from that food from the bloodstream. Our cells need that glucose to produce energy so our body can work and move. All that's normal. Now, when the blood sugar levels rise after eating a meal, the pancreas releases the insulin into the bloodstream. Insulin signals the cells to absorb the glucose, which lowers the blood sugar levels. Also, the insulin plays a role in storing excess glucose for future use. It promotes the conversion of glucose into glycogen, a storage form of glucose, which ends up in our livers, in the muscles. So as the body needs energy, it can go take some of that glycogen. Now, in the natural order of things, after a meal, as the blood sugar levels decrease, so does the release of insulin from the pancreas. This helps maintain stable blood sugar levels throughout the entire day. So to summarize, insulin moves the glucose into the cells, regulates the blood sugar levels, and helps store excess glucose for future energy needs. The coordination between insulin and glucose is essential for maintaining your overall health and preventing conditions like diabetes. Now, the bad news. When that regulation is disrupted or no longer effective, other symptoms begin to occur that jeopardizes other areas of our overall health. What many of us notice first is the extra pounds we start putting on. Elevated high blood sugar levels, high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, and high triglycerides. In women, they can also experience polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, and with men, ED. The chronic symptoms that present, at least for me, were a non-alcoholic fatty liver, skin conditions, an overall feeling of fatigue and brain fog. And then, of course, all the other ones I listed. I had the high triglycerides, the high cholesterol, all that stuff. My numbers were completely out of whack. Does anybody else in here resemble those remarks? I think maybe a few of you do. It's important to note that every time we eat, glucose is introduced into our system. Insulin is spiked. When our body gets to the point where it can't keep up, the glucose is stored as fat. Visceral fat, the kind that surrounds our organs, the most dangerous, by the way, and subcutaneous fat, the jiggly fat, which is the fat we see more clearly. Over time, with consistently high glucose levels, fat cells become resistant to insulin, leading to increased insulin production and eventually type 2 diabetes. It's important to note that insulin resistance is progressive and can exist for years before leading to chronic diseases. Some of you may have been living with it for 10 to 15 to 20 years and haven't noticed it yet except through those other conditions. When it does progress to diabetes, many people think that they are condemned to a lifetime of medicines pushed on you by a profession that has decided to only treat your symptoms and not the root cause. What's the root cause? Well, it's insulin resistance. All of those other things are caused by insulin resistance. However, it's not all doom and gloom. The key to success is learning how to address insulin resistance so we can reverse the chronic symptoms. That is the success that I am currently experiencing. And my goal is to explain and share that protocol I use with as many people as possible. As a side note, all of my success was without exercising or giving up the foods that I want. I know that sounds like an infomercial, but it's true. However, if you choose to follow me on this path, I can almost guarantee that success you experience will breed success and ultimately positive choices regarding your food and exercise. As Henry Ford said, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. I'm looking for some people to help. I have a plan that works. It's worked for me, and I'm available to help coach you during this process. Drop me a message if you're interested, and we'll plan on a live event. I appreciate the time that you spent with me and listening to this video. Let's continue to make a difference and add value to each other. Have a great night.